first thing you have to consider is the German language. Before moving down to Germany, you have to understand that over here, speaking the language is very important. If you're planning to stay in Germany for a very short period of time, you probably can get by without speaking the language. But if you're planning to stay in Germany for a very long period of time and you're planning to have your kids here and raise a family here, then you have to understand that the language is very, very important. As a matter of fact, that's one of the major factors that shows that a person is well integrated into the German society. And there are certain jobs you just can't do without understanding how to speak the language. For instance, if you want to practice medicine here or engineering, even nursing, you have to understand the German language. So, depending on where you live as well, the language is very, very important. If you live in very big cities, maybe you can actually get by with not understanding the language so much. But if you're living in smaller cities, not so much. The opposite is the case. In Germany, I would say location is everything. This is one aspect that I feel so many people do not actually put in a lot of, work on. It's a different thing if you do not have a choice. But if you have a choice, it is necessary you make your research and ask a lot of questions about what location, where you'll be going into, because location is everything. When you live in bigger cities, then you should expect to see a lot of internationals there. You should even expect to see a lot of people who understand English language over there. So life there is a bit different. When you live in smaller cities, you don't get to see people who speak English a lot. You don't get to see a lot of internationals. You get to see a lot of, you know, locals, and most of them do not really speak English, so they speak to you in German and expect you to reply them back in German. The way of life, the process to doing things differs based on your location. Even trying to get an apartment, it's harder or simpler depending on where you stay in Germany. So location is, I think, that is one of the major factor that should be considered before a person moves down to Germany. One of the most unpredictable things about Germany is the weather. The German weather can be so unpredictable. Like 1 minute is the sun is shining so bright, like in summer, we're in summer right now, and then 1 minute the sun is shining so bright, and the next minute everywhere is cloudy, and then it starts to rain. During the cold period, oh my god, I don't like it. I don't like cold. I hate cold. When I came newly, I was always complaining, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Yes, I think I'm actually getting used to it now. So yeah, bear that in mind. The weather might not be so friendly, but you get used to it. When somebody asks me how is social life like in Germany, honestly, there's no one answer for this question. I just tend to ask first, like, what kind of a person are you? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Depending on the kind of person you are, you will either like or hate the social life in Germany. Now, if you're an extrovert, then I don't know. I don't think Germany will be so interesting for you, except you live in maybe those very big cities that have a lot of, foreigners there and all that. But if you're an introvert, then Germany is perfect for you. Germany is the place where everybody like mind their business. Nobody's disturbing you. You're not disturbing anybody. Nobody stops you on the road to start asking you unnecessary questions. Like, you're just on your own. So if you're an introvert, you can stay basically anywhere in Germany. You can live in a small city, in a village, in a big city, wherever, and you just have a peace of mind. But if you're an extrovert, you can only love the social life in Germany if you're staying in a big city. If you're living in a small city or like a small town in Germany, then my dear, the loneliness that will disturb you there is better experience than having somebody explain it to you. Because yes, I think a lot of people who complain about loneliness in Germany are mostly those people who are more extro than intro. So, and if they find themselves in smaller cities or smaller towns, it's kind of very lonely and hard, especially if you do not like have your family members around you and all of that. So, the social life in Germany, there's no one fit answer. It depends on where you stay, the kind of person you are, what are your likes and what are your dislikes. So, it all depends. Another major thing I think anybody who will be moving to Germany should understand about Germany is everything takes time. Like, you want to get an apartment, it takes time. You want to go to the hospital, it takes time. You want to apply for anything and get it, it takes a lot of time. I remember when we were looking for an apartment, it was like we were looking for a job, honestly, because the process was so long and so stressful. After having my baby, the process was good actually, but then getting my baby's birth certificate was another process entirely on its own. So everything takes time. You just have to have this patience. That is the key word. For you to stay here, you need to come with a lot of patience. So if you're not a patient person, you would have to learn to be patient because everything takes time. It's not like you will not end up getting that thing or achieving your goal, but you will not get it in that instant. So everything takes time. That is just one very little summary I can say about Germany. Final tip will be getting to know or have a DIY skill in anything, honestly. DIY means do it yourself, meaning you should learn to do some certain things yourself. Like for ladies, making your hair or your children's hair, at least learn the basics on how to do it. It helps a lot and it also saves a lot. Fix it like most of our furnitures here, the beds, our chairs, the tables, we bought them unassembled and we assembled them ourselves. So you will fall in love with being very practical, doing things yourself, making use of your hands. Even if you can even learn basics of sewing, hair making, anything, it's very, very important. It will not only save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of, money. So it's very, very good to develop, love for DIY things. Like me, most times when I want to do something, I always want to try and see if I can do it myself. If I can't do it myself, then I can say, okay, get someone to do it for me. But I always want to research and try and say, okay, can I do this myself? Can I learn how to do this myself? So living abroad in general, not just Germany alone, having DIY skills is number one. At this point, please do like and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, bye bye.